Yeah, dear student, we have completed how to measure the different aggregates of national and domestic product using the methods such as income method, product method and expenditure method. Now we are moving to the precautions part. In precaution, in each method we will take 4 precautions and then further we will be discussing in length when we will go into what to be included and excluded while calculating domestic product and national product. So if you look into income method, what precautions to be taken? Precautions means when you are using the income method, what to be included in it and what to be excluded. These are the precautions. The first precaution is if you have been given income from illegal activities. Illegal activities means gambling, right? This is one of the illegal activity. Pickpocketing, this is an illegal activity. That income will be not included because in income method when we calculate national income, we talk about only the income which is generated through the legal activities, which is generated through those goods and services which have been produced legally. So if there is any illegal income, that will be not a part of income method, first precaution. Second precaution is income from the sale of shares is not included. Why it is not included is an important point. Income from the sale of shares and bonds. What it means, you will find daily people are going in the share market, either they make the sale or they make a purchase of shares and bonds, right? And through that they earn income. That income cannot be a part of national income because when the first day I started national income, I told you national income is not about the money income. It is not that how much money you earn. If you converted 10 rupees into 20 rupees by playing a lottery, that is not national income, that is a money income. National income means if you earn the income by making the flow of goods and services. If you generate income by contributing either goods or services in the economy, then only that income will be included in national income. Right? So in case of income from the sale of shares and bonds, you are earning income by purchasing the shares and bonds, but you are not contributing anything in the flow of goods and services. Nothing is coming to your economy. So that's why this income is not included in the income method. So if you earn income from the sale of shares and bonds, it will be not included. Why? Because shares and bonds is a financial claim. Only it's the paper, change of financial ownership. Nothing is coming to the economy in the form of goods and services, and in national income we include only that income which is generated either by making the flow of goods or by making the flow of services, and that's why this income is not included. The third, income from the sale of second-hand goods is also not included because this value is already included when the first time it was offered for sale. For an example, Mr. Ram has purchased a new scooter from the market. That time, that value is included in your national income. Now, Mr. Ram is selling to Mr. Shyam. It is simply the change of ownership. The scooter is one only. So, there is no increase in the number of scooter. There is no increase in the number of goods. So, that's why the value of second-hand goods and what income generated will be not included. Because there is no flow of new goods, only change of ownership. Yes, point of caution, while this sale or purchase, whether it is bond, shares or second-hand goods, the broker's commission will be included because he or she is giving services. Suppose Ram is selling goods to Shyam, and in this process of sale, there is a commissioner, broker. And he is getting the commission. That commission will be included because he is giving services. But that income of the Ram by the sale of second-hand goods will be not included because it's simply change of ownership. There is no flow of new goods. Then comes transfer income. This is very important. There is two types of income. One is called earned income. What do you call it? Earned income. And other is called unearned income. Earned income means which you earn after contributing either goods or services. If you make the flow of goods and services and you earn income, that is called earned income. Like a worker is working in a factory, is earning income. That is called earned income because he is giving his services and contributing in the flow of goods and services. A capitalist is earning interest. It is an earned income. Why? Because he is earning the interest over the capital, and with the capital is directly contributing in the flow of goods and services. Income of an entrepreneur will be earned income because he is hiring factors of production, he is making production possible, he is contributing in the flow of goods and services. That's why it is an earned income. Income of a landlord is an earned income because he is providing land to the business which is contributing in the flow of goods and services. So if you look into the rent, royalty, interest, profit, wage, all are earned income. But on the other hand, if you are getting pocket money from your father, for that what you have given to your father? Nothing. If you are getting unemployment allowance from the government, what you have given to the government? Nothing. If you are getting old age pension from the government, what you have given against that pension to the government? Nothing. If you are getting financial assistance, like financial assistance given to the victims of, you can say, earthquake, what they are giving to the government? Nothing. That income is called unearned income. So in earned income, what happens? You make the flow of goods and services. In unearned income, you don't make any flow of goods and services. Like for an example, student scholarship will be the earned income or unearned income. When the student is getting a scholarship, he is not contributing in the flow of goods and services. So it will be unearned income. But one worker is getting the wages, it's the earned income. So there is two types of income. One contributes in the flow of goods and services, that is called earned income, which one does not contribute in the flow of goods and services, that is called unearned income. The earned income is also known as factor income. Please note the point. So what is factor income? Factor income means that income which is earned after contributing either flow of goods and services. What are the example of factor income? Wages, rent, interest, profit. They are factor income. And those income which is earned without rendering goods and services, like a scholarship, unemployment allowance, old age pension, pocket money, financial assistance, that is called transfer income. So transfer income is earned without making the flow of goods and services, and factor income is earned after making the flow of goods and services. When you are calculating national income, which income you will include? The income which is contributing in the flow of goods and services. What you call it? Factor income. And which income you will not include? Which does not contribute in the flow of goods and services. What is that? Transfer income. That's why transfer income is not included. So what are the main four precautions you have to take while using the income method? Income from illegal activities is not included. Income from the sale of shares and bonds not included because it does not contribute in the flow of goods and services. Income from the sale of second-hand goods not included because simply change of ownership. And transfer income is also not included because it does not contribute in the flow of goods and services. So these are the four main precautions. Now moving to the product method. In product method, value of intermediate goods not included. Why? Because double counting problem. So when we are using the product method, first we calculate value of output, and immediately from value of output what we subtract? Intermediate goods. That is called intermediate consumption. Why we subtract? Because if we continue with it, what will happen? Item value of single item value will be recorded twice, thrice or four times. So to avoid double counting, we include the value of only final goods. Value of intermediate goods is not included to avoid double counting. Second, production of goods for self-consumption. Now this is a new word. Production of goods of self-consumption means when the producer is doing the production, producing the goods, but in the place of selling it, the goods have been consumed by the producer's family. For example, farmer is producing wheat. And the place of selling the wheat in the market, the farmer and his family is consuming that wheat. So there is a production of goods. Okay? Goods have been produced, wheat has been produced, but in the place of selling in the market, it has gone for the self-consumption, consumed by the family of farmer. So this value of the goods will be included or not? The answer is yes. Why? Because national income is not only money income. National income means flow of goods. So when farmer is doing the production, there was a flow of goods. Whether that goods is for sale or for self-consumption hardly matters. Whether the goods is for sale or self-consumption hardly matter. What matter? That there is a flow of goods or not. And if you look into the production of goods for self-consumption, there is a flow of goods. That's why the value will be included in the national income while using the product method. Then comes services for self-consumption. Services for self-consumption means services generated and consumed by the family member, like teacher teaching his son. Who is generating the services? Teacher. And who is consuming? His own son, family members. Mother cooking food in kitchen, right? So who is consuming the services of mother? The family members, right? So when services are generated and consumed by the family member, that is called services for self-consumption. Now it is not included, though there is a flow of services. If mother is cooking food in the kitchen, services are generated. For teacher teaching his son, services are generated. But here the problem is those services are generated and value to be included, because we are saying that in national income we include the flow of goods and services, and here we included the value of goods. So services value to be included, but here the statistical limitation is there. We cannot calculate the value of mother services given in the kitchen. We cannot calculate the value of teacher teaching his son. So because of this statistical limitation, we does not include the services for self-consumption. From the rule point of view, the value of services to be included because there is a flow of services. But we have got a statistical limitation. It is not possible to calculate the value of the services given by the mother in the kitchen, or the value of services given by the mother in caring the child. So that's why we does not include the services for self-consumption in the calculating any of the aggregate by product method. The fourth is value of owner-occupied house. What is value of owner-occupied house? It means someone constructed the house, and in the place of renting it or in the place of selling it, he or she himself living in that house. That is called value of owner-occupied house. That is also known as imputed rent. Possible one more question. What is meant by imputed rent? If someone constructed the house in the place of selling it or renting it, he or she himself living in that house, that is called self-occupied house. And if we calculate the value of that house, is called imputed rent. Now the question is, this will be included or not when we are using product method? The answer is yes, it will be included. Why? Whether the person is renting it, whether the person is selling it, whether the person is occupying himself, there is a flow of goods or not? Yes, there is a flow of new house in the economy. Now if it is self-occupied, if it is rented, if it is sold out, that hardly matters. There is a flow of goods. Hence the value of owner-occupied house or imputed rent will be included. Once again, what is imputed rent? When the house has been constructed and occupied by the person himself or herself, and if we calculate the value of it, that is called imputed rent. Now moving to the next, precautions of expenditure method. Precautions in expenditure method. The first precaution is expenditure on intermediate goods, not included. Second is purchase of shares and bonds, not included. Third, purchase of second-hand goods, not included. Fourth, expenditure on self-owned assets included. 4 we are taking in each method, right, from the exam point of view. Further we'll discuss many more items, whether they are included or excluded. If you are using expenditure method, you have to take only expenditure on final goods. You will not include the expenditure on intermediate goods. For an example, if by the producer there is a purchase of machinery, it will be included or not? The question is possible in 1 mark. The answer is yes. Why? Because machinery is a capital goods, it's a final goods, and we include the purchase of final goods. If the question is restaurant owner purchasing vegetable from the market, that value will be included? The answer is no. Why? Because it is an intermediate goods. Why it is not included? To avoid double counting. So when we are using expenditure method, will not include expenditure on intermediate goods. Will not include purchase or expenditure on shares and bonds, because it is not going to make a flow of goods and services. Simply there is a change of paper claim. Nothing is coming to the economy. Will not include the expenditure on second-hand goods, because nothing new is coming to the economy. Simply change of ownership. Expenditure of self-owned assets. If someone is making the expenditure over the construction of farmhouse, or inside the farmhouse you are constructing a well, certainly there is a flow of assets. You are contributing in the flow of goods, so that will be included. This is how you can give precautions of the different methods. The possible question the board, he may ask you, mention any 3 precautions of income method, or mention any 3 precautions of product method, or mention any 4 precautions or 2 precautions of expenditure method. So you can keep with you 4 minimum precautions of each method. That will be quite helpful to you. Now we are moving to the next, that is steps. Steps in different methods. As I told you initially, from this chapter, if you go through the methods, based on the method, there is 3 types of questions possible. First possible question is numerical, that already we have done, where you will use the formula. Second possible question is precautions, that we have done. Third possible question is, he may ask you the steps of different methods. If you take income method, what steps you follow? The step 1, classification of economy into different sectors. First, what we do when we can go for the calculation of national income or domestic income through income method, we cannot take the entire economy in one go. We divide the economy into different sectors. What the sectors are? One is called primary sector, where we take only agricultural and light activities. Number 2 is called secondary sector, where we take manufacturing and construction. And number 3 is called tertiary sector, where we take all type of services. We cannot take entire economy in one. So therefore, when we use income method, first step, we divide the economy into 3 sectors. One, where we take only agriculture and agriculture based activities. What they are? Fishing, logging, quarrying, mining, etc. That is called primary sector. Second, we take manufacturing and construction activity, that is called secondary sector. And all other services we keep in tertiary sector. And that is step 2. Step 2, this is step 1. In step 2, we make the classification of domestic income, or we call it factor income. What it means? Classification of the income which is generated within the country, and that should be a factor income. It means that income which is generated either by rendering goods or by services. The first income is generated within the country is by the laborers or workers, that is called COE. Second income which is generated by the landlord, capitalists and entrepreneurs, that is called operating surplus, that already we discussed. And third income is generated by the self-employed person, that is called MI. So in step 2 what we do, we make a classification of factor income. There is three types of income: COE, OS, and MI. Right? And then further we do in step 3. Step 3, we calculate NDP at factor cost. How we calculate NDP at factor cost? No depreciation because it is net. Domestic product means COE plus OS plus MI, and factor cost means no net indirect tax. And then in step 4, we calculate national income. How we calculate national income is equal to NDP at factor cost plus net factor income from abroad. These are the steps of income method. So if in the exam the question is explain the different steps of income method, step 1, the classification of economy into different sectors. Step 2, classification of domestic income, COE, OS and MI. You have to explain what is COE. It is a payment made by the employer to the employees in cash or kind for rendering services. What is operating surplus? It is sum total of rent, royalty, interest and profit. What is MI? It is the income of self-employed persons. Then in step 3, we calculate NDP at FC by adding all these three income. And step 4, we calculate national income. How? NDP at FC plus net factor income from abroad. Moving to the next steps in. Next is product method. Steps of product method. Step 1 is same here. What we do? We are going to classification of economy into sectors. What were the sectors? There are 3 sectors. First, primary sector. Second, secondary sector. And third, tertiary sector. In primary sector, we take agriculture light activities. Secondary sector, we take manufacturing and construction. And tertiary, we take services. Then step 2. Step 2, what we do? We calculate here value of output. How we calculate value of output? Either P into Q or sales plus change in stock. And how we calculate change in stock? Closing stock minus opening stock. This is step 2. And in step 3, what we do? Step 3, we are going to calculate GDP at MP, gross domestic product at market price. And how we calculate? We take the value of output minus intermediate consumption. What we get? GDP at MP.